Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Huggy Bear from JJ LaBarbara. And I don't know which attracted me first. Probably the tangle, because that is what seems to. But it's a toss up on this one between the tangle and the name. And I'll explain the name in a minute. You can go, though, to the For More Inspiration link. That's part of why I put that there, especially when it's tangle patterns. Well, you know what? I take that back. Sometimes blogs, the person that's designed the tangle has their own blog. Linda Farmer, who is the person behind tanglepatterns.com. She'll include a story and other things that are of interest. But anyway, the story is cute. I'll elaborate as we go, but do take a look so you can get other ideas on this. That's why I call it the For More Inspiration link. All right, this is a dot grid, and what I'm going to do is, and I'm using my 12. I don't remember what point I realized that these are a great tool. Besides, they're a little bit thicker, and you can make thicker lines, but you can make nice dots with them. All right, so I'm going to do 4 across. We'll see how even they get. But it makes a nice little dot, so I'm just pressing it in. And because usually I would do like this, and then sometimes they end up a little messy or just a little odd shaped. And this is just a nice way to assure a nice little dot. I think this is the biggest size in the round that that Micron, Sakura, the Pigma Microns come in. They have the graphic pens. There's a 1, 2, and a 3, and the 2 and the 3 are more like a chisel based pen that you would like you would expect if you were doing calligraphy or something like that. But it's hey. It's nice to have a good variety because you never know what you're going to need. All right. In our group, a lot of us would talk about the fact that, this hobby, this art form, does not require a lot of stuff. You can really get by on, with limited supplies. But at the same time, it's like, well, but, one must have options, and it's very, very nice. All right. And if so, if you need options too, I do. And if you enjoy the videos, I haven't done this yet, and maybe I will get to do it on this one. But if you go to my website or look in the links, I do have some affiliates that I have kind of signed on with. So if you enjoy these and want to support my efforts, that's one way to do it, is to shop through my link. The one I have right now is to Dick Blick, and of course official Zentangle supplies on my own store that's on my website. All right, so let's get down to it. So the interesting thing about this tangle is that it's an oops in the best sense of the word. And my mom gave me this giant eraser that we don't use, and oops means occasional opportunity presented suddenly. And so this is a great way. It's an oops gone right. So here's what it is. If you've ever tried the Tangle Huggins and had a challenge with it, and this is why when I'm explaining tangling, and I do this, and it depends on what tangle that I'm presenting here, right? And I say, just keep going, be consistent. If you goof up, because you might come up with a new tangle, and that's exactly what this is. All right, now this one, we're not going to do the take off and land concept. So if you want to know what that is, find my video on Huggins, and I will explain that and the why. This one, we're just going to go from dot to dot. So, pick a row, and we're going to do a curve going up, then a curve going down, and we're just going to alternate those across. Okay? Then, in your next row, we're going to go opposite. So this one's going up. So then in this row, I'm going to start the opposite way. I'm going to have this one go down, and then up, and then down. Really easy. And then next row, same thing, opposite. That's probably the hardest part of this is, and that's really the hard part with Huggins also, is remembering, which way to go. Although, this part isn't hard. You just start one direction and then alternate. And then I guess the worst thing is, on the next row, making sure to alternate what, from what you did already. Okay. And now I too have had a challenge with the second step that would be in Huggins. And so here's where I can't think of the right word. Here's what we're going to do. We'll just do that. Okay. And the challenge that I've had with Huggins is not only remembering myself. I mean, now I have a better tool, but when you're getting started with it, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not sure what to do, or how to remember. Here's one thing on this one that you could do. So let's say you started going up like this. Oh, you know what? Ooh, this might. Well, I don't know if this will work or not. If I turn my tile, I have these. Well. This is where I always kind of get stuck in explaining, because and maybe it's just watch and then we can talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to do here. So I have these ones going out. So then the top one is also going to go out. Maybe think birds of a feather flock together. So out, out, and this one's going to go out also. Picturing, looking in this in the center here. It's like, oh, okay. This one, right? And then we're just alternating. If you get the first one right, then we just alternate up, down, or, out, in, whichever way you want to think about it. And once you have that first one, then you're good to go, because then we're copying the same thing that we already did. So the next row, we're going to do opposite of this. So that one went up, this one's going down, and then this one's going up, right? And gosh, I hope one of those. I never want to make it more complicated than it is. I just want to explain it so that way it makes sense. And sometimes, it's been my practice, not just here. It comes from, wow, I'm not actually, first time I really used this, my philosophy of having lots of analogies in my arsenal, or in my quiver, like of arrows, is when I teach music, because you never know what's going to latch on to, a particular person, so why not have lots? Okay, next step is the decorating phase. And let's see. Okay, apparently I don't know what I've done with it. Okay, so in the decorating phase, I'm just going to show you one way, kind of pretty much what we have done in the step out. I'm going to go ahead and use my 12 here to color in, and I'm going to just color in these. Well, sure I am. Hold on. No, because it's like I got these little tight corners, and that fat thing is not going to fit in these nice little corners, but I can do this first. But yeah, so this is the decorating phase. And, all right, let's try that. My number one is MIA, so my graphic. My problem is I need to have we were joking about this on our last Tangle time, need to have a go kit that when you want to go someplace, it has everything that you might want, at least, the basics. So that way when you travel, and then all of that stuff just stays in that kit, and that's it. And you don't, don't take it out, don't use it otherwise. I need to make a list, like yeah, kind of like Jeff Foxworthy. You're a Tangle addict if. And that would be one for sure. You have a go kit. You have a Tangle go kit. Oh my gosh. Because, you never know when when you're going to have a moment and you're sitting down and you want to tangle, and like I said, luckily we don't really require a lot of stuff, but if you really want to have all of your, or more tools at your disposal, that's where I suppose a bigger supply would come in handy, because I do have a micron and a pencil and a tortillon and a little sketchbook that I keep in my purse. All right, so as we're tangling as I'm filling this in, so you can, of course, do whatever you want with these. It doesn't have to be filled in. And also, you don't have to fill in these areas. You could leave those areas open and fill in what has turned into circles. You could also put other tangles in there. Gosh, if you do this big enough, just like we have, Crazy Huggins. Sorry, I'm moving off the camera here as I'm involved in my coloring. We could do Crazy Huggy Bear, where you would make it a lot bigger, and then that becomes a reticula, and which just means a grid of a different shape, outside of squares and rectangles, and they have a lot of fun with it. Oh, this one might be coming up. We'll see. All right. So once you have this, then you can shade. Like I said, or you can decorate however you might want. I am going to shade this. Let's see. I'm going to do like this. Just going to put a nice little C shape. I'm going to start with a C shape. We'll see if we go all the way around or not. We'll see how we're inspired. And you don't have to spread that out either. It is kind of nice. Just depends on what you're looking for, how you've been how you've been inspired, how your tangle is speaking to you. I had two words in my head and they decided to merge. Sorry about that. That looks kind of neat because it adds in the shine aspect. Like doing a gem or, yes, it does. Ooh, that looks neat. Sorry, I get a little excited when it comes to shading because it's just so cool. And when you don't consider yourself an artist, or this is the only art that I do that I'm good at. I'm good at some other kind of craft. Well, I'm good at some other things. I take that back. And I've had people, so don't all write in the comments. Don't give yourself more credit. I do. That's why this is just so amazing because I don't. So it's just always just remarkable and so exciting when I can do something with my hands. Yes, it's somebody else's pattern, but when you can do something with your own two hands and have it just turn out neat is so cool. Haha. And then while we're at it, well, you know what? Since I did like a C, this is going to be we'll aura the three sides here with the white jelly roll. And that makes it look like my mom's initial, the way she kind of does it. Now, if I was to do... I am just playing at this point. All right, it looks goofy, but it doesn't matter. So you can have fun with this. It is a really neat tangle, and I like I said, I wanted to share this also because when something goes awry, just keep going with it. You don't know what you might create. You might create a tangle that could be shared, or you might just create something unique and turn it into something that makes you smile. And that's the whole aim. That's the objective. So with that, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, would love to have a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. If you are not a subscriber to the channel yet, would love to have you be a subscriber. I did mention in the description section, you'll find links to step outs, links to my website, ways to connect with me if you wish. And I think that's it. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.